The year is 1945. The world stands at a crossroads, battered and exhausted by 6 years of brutal conflict. Across continents, millions mourn their dead, and the scars of war are etched into the very landscape. The guns of World War II have fallen silent, but peace is uneasy. The silence is heavy, filled with uncertainty and the lingering trauma of devastation. Europe lies in ruins, its old empires spent. Cities that once bustled with life are now hollow shells, and millions are displaced, searching for hope amid the rubble. Two new superpowers emerge, the United States and the Soviet Union. Their influence stretches across oceans, shaping the destinies of nations far beyond their borders. Their alliance against fascism was one of necessity, not shared values. Suspicion and mistrust simmered beneath the surface, even as they celebrated victory together. Now, with the enemy gone, their differences, capitalism versus communism, become a chasm. Ideological fault lines split the continent, and old friends become wary rivals. An iron curtain descends, splitting Europe into rival camps. Borders harden, and a sense of foreboding settles over the continent. On one side, democracy and markets. Western Europe rebuilds with American aid, embracing freedom and economic recovery. On the other, single-party rule and central planning. The Soviet Union tightens its grip, promising security and equality, but demanding obedience. This is not open war, but a state of deep hostility and suspicion. Armies face each other across barbed wire, and every move is watched with anxious eyes. Each side sees the other as an existential threat. Propaganda fuels paranoia, and the world is gripped by a new kind of fear. Fear dominates. The West dreads communist expansion. The East fears capitalist encirclement. Suspicion seeps into daily life, dividing families and communities. The atomic bomb, once America's secret, soon belongs to both. The balance of power is now measured in megatons, and the threat of annihilation hangs over all. The stakes are now apocalyptic. Any conflict could mean mutual destruction. Ordinary people practice bomb drills, living with the knowledge that the world could end in an instant. Thus begins the Cold War, a struggle fought in shadows, not on battlefields. Spies and secrets become weapons as both sides maneuver for advantage. Espionage, propaganda, and psychological warfare replace armies and tanks. The battle is for hearts and minds, waged in newspapers, radio waves, and whispered rumors. The contest is for influence, perception, and survival in a world divided by ideology and fear. Every nation must choose a side, or risk being caught in the crossfire. The fate of nations, and perhaps civilization, depends on navigating this new wilderness. Leaders and citizens alike must find their way through a maze of danger and uncertainty. The world has entered a chilling new era. The shadow of the Cold War will stretch for decades, shaping lives, politics, and the very course of history. The atomic bomb changed everything. In a single blinding flash, humanity entered a new era, one where the power to destroy entire cities, even civilizations, was suddenly real. For a brief moment, America held the ultimate weapon, unmatched and unchallenged. The world watched in awe and fear as the United States demonstrated its newfound power, believing it had secured an unassailable advantage. But by 1949, the Soviets had their own bomb. The balance of power shifted overnight, and the illusion of American invincibility vanished. The nuclear age had begun, and with it, a terrifying new reality. The world now lived under the constant threat of annihilation. A new doctrine emerged, mutually assured destruction. MAD. It was a paradox, peace maintained by the promise of total destruction. If one side launched, the other would retaliate, ensuring not just defeat, but the end of both nations. The logic was brutal, but it worked. No one dared to strike first. Nuclear weapons became unusable. To use them was suicide. The world's most powerful arsenals became tools of deterrence, not war. Direct war was now unthinkable. So the conflict moved underground. Nations prepared for the worst, building bunkers and running drills, but hoping never to use them. Proxy wars erupted in Korea, Vietnam, Afghanistan. Superpowers fighting by proxy, never directly. These were brutal, costly conflicts, but always with one eye on the nuclear threshold. The real battlefield shifted to intelligence, subversion, and propaganda. Espionage and psychological warfare became the new front lines. Spies, analysts, and double agents became the new warriors. Their battles were fought in shadows, with secrets and lies instead of bullets. The Cold War was a global chess match, where a single misstep could mean catastrophe. Every move was calculated, every risk weighed against the possibility of nuclear war. The arms race was fueled by fear, not facts. Each side imagined the other was always one step ahead, driving a relentless cycle of escalation. Each side sought to outmaneuver the other in a contest of nerves and deception. Diplomacy became a high-stakes game, with the fate of the world hanging in the balance. The threat of nuclear war hung over every decision. Leaders lived with the knowledge that a single mistake could end everything. The world lived in the shadow of instant annihilation. Ordinary people practiced drills, built shelters, and hoped the unthinkable would never happen. The Cold War was not about winning battles, but about surviving the ultimate stalemate. It was a test of endurance, patience, and restraint. In this new reality, perception and psychology became as powerful as any weapon. Controlling the narrative was as important as controlling the missiles. The contest was for the mind as much as the map. In the end, survival depended not just on strength, but on the ability to outthink and outlast the enemy. With open war off the table, the world entered a tense new era. The threat of nuclear destruction loomed over every decision, making direct conflict unthinkable for both sides. Instead, the Cold War became a secret struggle, fought in the shadows and back alleys of global politics. Intelligence agencies like the CIA and KGB grew into global powerhouses, wielding influence far beyond their borders. Their mission, outwit the enemy through espionage, sabotage, and manipulation, became a high-stakes game with the fate of nations at risk. Information was the new currency. Every secret, every rumor, a potential weapon. Spies were recruited, double agents planted, and entire networks built to steal or protect vital knowledge. Counterintelligence became a relentless game of cat and mouse, with each side trying to outsmart the other at every turn. Disinformation campaigns aimed to mislead, confuse, and provoke costly mistakes, turning lies into powerful weapons. Propaganda flooded the airwaves, each side selling its system as superior, hoping to sway public opinion both at home and abroad. The battle for hearts and minds was constant, fought in every medium and every corner of the globe, from classrooms to living rooms. In this war, truth was just another tool to be shaped and deployed, as both sides sought to control the narrative and shape the future. The Cold War's wilderness of mirrors was a world of deception and doubt. Nothing was as it seemed. Trust was rare and paranoia, a survival skill. Intelligence officers had to read every clue, question every motive, and spot every trap. Deception took many forms: double agents, fake defections, even dummy military bases. The goal was to control the enemy's perception, to make them see what you wanted them to see. A well-placed lie could be more powerful than a bomb. The real battle was for the mind, warping the enemy's understanding, shaping their decisions. In this strange wilderness, survival depended on clarity, skepticism, and constant vigilance. Deception created phantom threats, ghost armies, and false gaps. The bomber gap and missile gap were products of manipulated intelligence and fear. America raced to close gaps that didn't exist, spending billions on illusions. The Soviets, too, projected strength they didn't have, using parades and mock-ups to intimidate. These false perceptions fueled an arms race, each side reacting to shadows. In the Cold War, belief could be as dangerous as reality. The shadow of a threat forced nations to act, often at great cost. The human element was central to the shadow war. Defectors brought secrets, but always raised suspicion. Were they genuine or enemy plants? Double agents lived lives of deception, feeding lies and truths to both sides. The Cambridge Five showed how a handful of traitors could do immense damage. Trust was the rarest commodity. Betrayal, the greatest danger. The most devastating blows often came from within, not from the enemy. In the Cold War, the human heart was the most unpredictable battlefield. In the Cold War, controlling perception was a strategic weapon. The missile gap showed how a false belief could drive real policy and risk. Both sides staged grand displays, parades, debates, propaganda, to project strength and hide weakness. The Soviets masked shortages with images of unity. The West flaunted prosperity and freedom. Psychological warfare aimed to make the other side doubt, envy, or fear. The contest was over reality itself. Who could define it, and who would believe it? Perception shaped decisions, alliances, and the course of history. In this struggle, the narrative was as powerful as any missile. The true Cold War battlefield was the mind. Psychology and persuasion became national security priorities. Understanding leaders' motives, exploiting public fears, and shaping beliefs were as vital as any weapon. Propaganda targeted vulnerabilities, while mutually assured destruction relied on belief, not bombs. Leaders had to project strength, never blink, and withstand immense psychological pressure. Military might mattered less than psychological dominance. The Soviet Union ultimately collapsed from within, undermined by doubt, exhaustion, and the persistent pressure of Western ideas. The battle for the mind decided the war. The Cold War's lessons are more relevant than ever in our digital age. The wilderness of mirrors has gone global. Disinformation spreads in seconds, not months. Fake news and social media manipulation are the new active measures. Every citizen is now on the front line. Critical thinking is a survival skill. Mental resilience and adaptability are essential in a world of constant deception. The greatest strengths and vulnerabilities remain in the human mind. The battle for perception continues, fought in our feeds and conversations. In the end, the most powerful force is the clarity and resilience of our own thoughts.